Olivia sat quietly on the bench at Washington, D.C. airport, her worn-out shoes tapping lightly on the cold floor. She had always been different, an orphan, raised in a poor family, facing every day like a battle. Her parents had died in a tragic accident when she was just a child, leaving her with nothing but memories and a will to survive. The airport was busy, but she barely noticed. She was focused on one thing: catching her flight on time. If she missed this, her dreams of a new job, her ultimate opportunity, would slip away forever. No one could have predicted what would happen next. A flight attendant, Emma, was watching Olivia from a distance. There was something about her, a certain quiet sadness in her eyes, that caught Emma's attention. But it wasn't just sympathy that drove Emma's gaze. Olivia's bag was placed carelessly beside her on the bench. Emma knew what she was about to do would change everything. The clock ticked down, and Olivia stood up, heading to the restroom. She didn't realize she'd left her bag behind. Emma, with swift and practiced movements, approached the bag. As she reached into it, a small, sly smile tugged at her lips. No one knew what she was planning. At least, no one yet. Olivia never noticed Emma as she slipped something into her bag. She was too focused on making sure she was ready for the job interview of her life. Her heart raced. The new job in Washington, D.C. could be her escape from the poverty she had always known. Emma watched Olivia disappear into the restroom, her heart pounding. This was it, the moment she had been waiting for. She was about to change everything. As Olivia's bag sat innocently on the bench, Emma quickly took her chance. She stuffed something inside, something that would later cause Olivia unimaginable trouble. As the minutes passed, Olivia returned, oblivious. She glanced at her phone to check the time. Only 30 minutes left before boarding. She was almost there, almost at the moment she had dreamed of. But fate had other plans. Olivia's heart skipped a beat when she saw the flight attendant waiting at the gate. Emma's cold eyes locked onto hers, and something about the way she was watching made Olivia feel uneasy. She shook off the feeling. After all, this was just a routine flight, wasn't it? But then came the unexpected. As Olivia reached the security check-in, Emma began to scrutinize each bag with unnerving precision. When it was Olivia's turn, Emma gave her an unnerving smile and began her search. Olivia's bag passed through the scanner, but something was wrong. Emma's face froze for a moment as the suspicious object was revealed. Olivia's stomach churned. "What is that?" she thought, trying to focus. But all she could see was Emma pulling out a strange, unfamiliar package from her bag. The moment felt like an eternity. "Ma'am, you'll have to step aside," Emma said coldly. Confusion turned into dread. "That's not mine," Olivia protested, her voice shaky. She had no idea how it got there. The object looked strange, out of place, a small bundle wrapped in tight plastic. Emma's gaze didn't soften. Her eyes glinted with a hidden satisfaction. "Let's get the police," Emma declared. The world around Olivia seemed to collapse. She was led away from the gate by two stern officers. Her hands trembled as she tried to explain. "I didn't put that in my bag," she said desperately. "Someone must have planted it there." But the more she pleaded, the more Emma's expression hardened. Olivia's heart was in her throat. The crowd around them was growing, whispers of suspicion swirling through the air. Why would she do this? Olivia wondered. What does Emma want? But there was one person who was paying attention, someone who would change everything. An elderly woman, sitting quietly near the gates, had been watching the whole scene unfold. She had seen the exchange between Olivia and Emma. She had seen the way Emma had acted, and she knew something wasn't right. As the police led Olivia away, the elderly woman stood up, her voice steady and clear. "This girl is innocent," she called out. "I saw what happened." Her words carried the weight of truth. The officers stopped, unsure of what to do. The elderly woman approached, pointing directly at Emma. "I saw her slip something into that girl's bag. She's the one who set this up." The tension in the air was palpable. Olivia stood frozen, still unsure of what was going on. She had never seen this woman before, but her words gave her a glimmer of hope. "Please, check the security footage," the elderly woman urged. The police, though hesitant, agreed to review the security footage. As the video played, it showed Emma, moving swiftly and deliberately, adding the suspicious item to Olivia's bag while the young woman was in the restroom. Olivia's breath caught in her throat as the truth slowly began to surface. She had been framed, tricked into carrying something she didn't even know existed. Emma's face went pale as she watched the footage. The smug expression she had worn earlier was now replaced by panic. Olivia was watching too, her eyes wide with shock. I didn't do this," Emma stammered, her voice trembling. "I was paid. Someone told me to do it." The room was heavy with disbelief. Who would go this far to destroy Olivia's life? Emma's confession came like a slap in the face. "I was paid," she repeated, her voice barely above a whisper. "A man gave me $10,000 to plant that thing in her bag. He said it was the only way she wouldn't make it to her interview. He said her job would be gone if she didn't miss this flight." Olivia's heart pounded in her chest. The pieces started falling into place. The job she had fought for, the flight she had worked so hard to make. Someone wanted it all for themselves. "Who was it?" Olivia demanded, her voice steady but filled with anger. "Who wanted to take my place?" But Emma only shook her head. "I don't know his name. He told me he would contact me again after the job was gone." It was all becoming too much to process. Olivia felt a flood of emotions, anger, betrayal, and confusion, but she couldn't allow herself to stay broken. As Olivia stood there, overwhelmed by the situation, the elderly woman spoke again. "That man you're talking about," she said, her voice calm and knowing. "He's the one who wants your job. But it's not going to happen." Olivia's eyes widened in surprise. "What do you mean?" The elderly woman smiled gently, her face full of wisdom. "You don't know who I am, do you?" Olivia shook her head, still trying to make sense of everything. "No." The elderly woman's expression softened. "I own the airline you're applying to, and I've been watching you. Your honesty, your courage. I believe in people like you." The words hit Olivia like a tidal wave. The elderly woman, the person she had never thought to be anything more than a bystander, was the very reason her job was still within reach. The elderly woman took a step closer to Olivia, her expression soft yet firm. Olivia stood frozen, her mind swirling in disbelief. "You don't need to worry about that man," the woman said, her voice steady and full of confidence. "He will never get your job. I'm offering it to you right now." Olivia blinked, struggling to process the words. The job, the very job she thought she had lost. It was still within her reach. But how? How could this stranger who she had never seen before have that much control? Her mouth went dry. "I don't understand," Olivia stammered. "Why me? I'm just a poor girl. How can I—" The woman smiled gently, her eyes kind and wise. "It's not about where you come from, dear. It's about who you are, your honesty, your courage. You never once let your circumstances define you. You fought for this job, and I've been watching you." Olivia's heart raced. "You were watching me? How? Why?" She could hardly catch her breath. "I own the airline you applied to," the elderly woman said quietly, almost as if she were sharing a secret. "I've been tracking your progress, and when I saw what happened today, I knew you were meant for something more than just this job. You deserve this opportunity." Olivia's mind reeled. The elderly woman, the owner of the airline, was standing right in front of her, offering her a chance at everything she had ever dreamed of. The weight of her words crashed into Olivia like a wave, but there was no fear now, only hope. "You see," the elderly woman continued, her voice calm and reassuring, "there are people in this world who will always try to break you, They'll try to make you believe that you don't belong. But you, Olivia, you've shown you're stronger than they could ever imagine." Tears welled up in Olivia's eyes as she absorbed the magnitude of the moment. She had faced every obstacle with nothing but determination, and now she was being offered redemption. Thank you," Olivia whispered, her voice shaking. "I don't know what to say." The elderly woman patted her hand softly. "You don't need to say anything, dear. Your actions speak louder than words ever could." And just like that, the door to Olivia's future opened wide. Olivia stood still, her heart pounding in her chest, as the elderly woman's words echoed in her mind. She had always fought for survival, always believed that her dreams were too far out of reach. But here, in this moment, standing in front of a woman who controlled everything she had worked for, Olivia realized something impossible. Her life was about to change forever. The elderly woman smiled gently, as if sensing the storm of emotions raging inside Olivia. "You have what it takes, Olivia," she said, "more than anyone else. This isn't just about a job. This is about your future." Olivia's mind was a whirlwind. Was this real? The same airline she had applied to, the same job she thought she had lost, was now in her grasp, handed to her by a woman she had only just met. She thought about the fight, the struggle, the countless nights she'd spent working and dreaming of a better life. And now it was here, within reach. But something in her gut told her this wasn't just a gift, it was destiny. "But I never thought I could..." Olivia's voice cracked. She tried to put her feelings into words, but they tangled in her throat. The elderly woman chuckled softly. "You never thought someone like you could be in my position. But that's the beauty of life. You never know what twist is coming next." Suddenly, Olivia felt a shift. It wasn't just the job she was being given. It was a chance at a new life, a new identity, a new purpose. The very thought that a poor, orphaned girl like her could rise to such heights felt unreal. Yet, it was happening. She was being handed the reins of power. As the elderly woman spoke further, explaining the responsibilities that came with her new role, Olivia's thoughts drifted back to Emma, the flight attendant who had set her up, who had tried to destroy her chances. A small part of Olivia felt anger, but more than that, she felt grateful. Because of Emma's cruelty, she had been given a chance to rise higher than she ever dreamed. The woman's last words struck Olivia like a thunderclap. "You're not just inheriting an airline, Olivia. You're inheriting a legacy. Make it yours." The final twist was clear. Olivia wasn't just meant to take over this airline. She was meant to shape its future. And now, she was ready.